Welcome back to our channel for another exclusive dive into the dramatic world of Genoa City. Today is a fantastic day to unpack the latest, most explosive twists heading your way. We have a massive spoiler report that will completely change the landscape of our favorite family. Grab a comfortable seat and let us get right into the heart of the impending chaos. Y&R the Restless Spoilers indicate that a shocking family secret is about to be revealed, one that will send catastrophic shockwaves through the Abbott and Newman dynasties. The Abbott family is currently trapped in an agonizing nightmare, and at the absolute center of this suffocating darkness is Jack Abbott. For weeks, viewers have watched in sheer horror as Patty Williams has systematically dismantled Jack's sense of security, manipulating his every move with terrifying precision. Patty has returned to Genoa City with a vengeance, bringing with her a dark cloud of historical trauma and unyielding obsession. Jack, who is still recovering from recent physical and emotional traumas, finds himself backed into a corner by a woman who refuses to let go of a twisted fantasy. The sheer weight of Patty's presence has cast a long, suffocating shadow over the Abbott mansion, leaving Jack to navigate a treacherous minefield where one wrong step could result in the ultimate destruction of his family, his marriage to Diane Jenkins, and his own life. Patty Williams is not merely exhibiting a chaotic frenzy, her madness is a chillingly calculated symphony of destruction. While her outward demeanor often portrays a fragile, emotionally shattered woman clinging to delusions of a romantic reunion, her actions reveal a sharp, highly strategic mind. She knows exactly how to exploit the vulnerabilities of the Abbott family, utilizing psychological warfare to isolate Jack and strike fear into the heart of Diane Jenkins. Patty has masterfully woven herself into the fabric of Jack's daily life, using a combination of subtle threats, emotional manipulation, and unpredictable behavior to keep everyone off balance. Her alliance with the dangerous Dr. Lawrence Markham demonstrates her ability to coordinate with highly lethal individuals to achieve her twisted goals. This level of meticulous planning proves that Patty is not just a woman scorned, she is a dangerous tactician, executing a complex agenda designed to dismantle Jack's world piece by piece, ensuring that he has no choice but to surrender to her demands. The burning question that has been echoing through the minds of every dedicated viewer and resonating through the hallowed halls of the Abbott mansion is this. Is this Patty Williams' solo plot, or is there secret complicity from someone operating in the shadows? When we analyze the sheer scale of Patty's current operation, the terrifying reality begins to set in. Patty is a fugitive, a woman who has spent years bouncing between psychiatric facilities and life on the run. Yet, she is somehow managing to utilize the highly expensive, lethal services of Dr. Lawrence Markham, a man who is secretly the notorious predator Martin Laurent in disguise. Markham employs sophisticated silicone masks, forged federal documents, and untraceable safe houses. The financial logistics required to maintain such an elaborate, high-stakes game of psychological warfare are astronomical. Patty simply does not possess the vast wealth or the intricate underworld connections to fund this level of sophisticated terror on her own. This glaring discrepancy points to a terrifying truth. Someone with bottomless pockets and a deep-seated hatred for Jack Abbott is secretly pulling the strings. Jack Abbott, pushed to the absolute brink of his sanity and desperate to save his family from impending doom, refuses to remain a helpless victim in this twisted game. He realizes that negotiating with a calculated madwoman like Patty is a losing battle that will only result in further tragedy. Defying the constant looming threats against his life and the safety of his estranged wife Diane Jenkins, Jack decides to launch a relentless offensive. He understands that to defeat Patty, he must cut off the head of the snake and expose the invisible benefactor funding her reign of terror. Jack transforms from a desperate hostage in his own home into a ruthless investigator, utilizing every ounce of his brilliant corporate acumen and the vast resources of Jabot Cosmetics to uncover the truth. He is willing to risk everything, including his own life, to peel back the layers of deception and bring the ultimate mastermind into the unforgiving light of day. The covert investigation leads Jack down a highly treacherous path of hidden financial transactions and encrypted communications. Working late into the night, sifting through mountains of digital forensic data, Jack begins to track the shadow money that has been keeping Dr. Lawrence Markham afloat. He uncovers a labyrinthine network of offshore accounts, dummy corporations, and layered wire transfers designed specifically to obscure the true source of the capital. Every financial breadcrumb is meticulously hidden behind walls of corporate bureaucracy, but Jack's determination is an unstoppable force. He employs top-tier forensic accountants and private investigators, pushing them to dig deeper into the dark web of Markham's finances. Slowly but surely, the intricate puzzle begins to take shape, revealing a systematic flow of massive funds directed specifically to facilitate Patty's obsession and Markham's sociopathic agenda. The shocking revelation hits Jack like a physical blow when the financial breadcrumbs finally align into a clear, undeniable picture. The dark money funding Dr. Lawrence Markham, and facilitating Patty Williams's reign of terror, traces directly back to a highly obscured subsidiary of Newman Enterprises. The realization is both horrifying and entirely logical. Jack stares at the financial documents, his blood running cold as he comprehends the magnitude of the betrayal. The subsidiary, buried deep within the massive Newman corporate structure, has been quietly funneling exorbitant amounts of cash to Markham under the guise of anonymous consulting fees and untraceable investment. This is not a coincidence. It is a smoking gun. The undeniable link between the predator hunting the Abbott family and the Newman Empire shatters any remaining illusions of peace in Genoa City, setting the stage for an apocalyptic confrontation. Victor Newman, the legendary patriarch with an insatiable appetite for control, emerges as the suspected man behind the curtain. When Jack connects the dots, the motive becomes terrifyingly clear. Victor has always harbored a deep, simmering hatred for Jack Abbott, a rivalry that spans decades of corporate espionage, stolen lovers, and bitter betrayals. However, the recent escalation in Victor's animosity provides the perfect catalyst for this extreme measure. Recently, Jack risked his own safety to sneak into the Newman ranch to comfort a permanently blind Nicky Newman. Victor discovered them in an intimate, emotional embrace, triggering a volcanic rage that shook the very foundations of the Newman estate. Victor's territorial fury and his absolute need to punish Jack for infiltrating his home and seeking solace with his vulnerable wife serve as the ultimate motivation to orchestrate Jack's total destruction. The nature of Victor Newman's complicity is a masterpiece of plausible deniability and ruthless indirect warfare. Victor is far too intelligent to leave a direct paper trail ordering a hit on Jack Abbott. Instead, he engineered a scenario where Jack's destruction would occur organically at the hands of others. By secretly providing limitless resources and covert directives to Dr. Markham, Victor created the perfect storm. He weaponized Patty Williams's tragic mental instability and her dangerous obsession with Jack, empowering her to act as the ultimate agent of chaos. Victor did not need to pull the trigger himself. He simply handed a loaded weapon to a madwoman and ensured she had the financial backing to execute her wildest, most destructive fantasy. This calculated manipulation was designed to completely destabilize Jack, ruin his marriage to Diane, and ensure he was far too consumed by his own survival to ever approach Nicky Newman again. Armed with this explosive, undeniable intelligence, Jack initiates a tense, suffocating interrogation with Patty Williams. He corners her in the dimly lit study of the Abbott mansion, locking the doors and cutting off any avenue of escape. The atmosphere is thick with palpable tension as Jack slams the financial dossiers onto the desk, demanding the truth. He drops his facade of appeasement and confronts Patty with the cold, hard facts of her operation. Jack masterfully plays on Patty's insecurities, pointing out that she is nothing more than a disposable pawn in a billionaire's vendetta. He interrogates her relentlessly, pressing her to admit that her grand, romantic reunion with him was entirely funded and orchestrated by Victor Newman. The confrontation is a brilliant, terrifying game of psychological chess, with Jack determined to break through Patty's delusions and extract a full confession regarding Victor's secret involvement. Patty's reaction to Jack's intense questioning is a fascinating display of twisted logic and psychological deflection. Initially, she vehemently denies the accusations, clinging desperately to her delusional belief that destiny and true love brought her back into Jack's life. She insists that her actions were driven purely by her devotion and that the universe is finally aligning in their favor. However, as Jack relentlessly presents the irrefutable financial links to Newman Enterprises, the fragile cracks in Patty's reality begin to show. She becomes erratic, her eyes darting nervously as she struggles to reconcile her romantic fantasy with the cold reality of Victor's corporate funding. Even in her madness, Patty begins to realize that her supposed autonomy was an illusion and that she has been manipulated by a man whose ruthlessness far exceeds her own. The realization that she is merely Victor's puppet ignites a dangerous, unpredictable spark within her fragile psyche. The confirmation that Victor Newman has effectively funded a psychological and physical assault on the Abbott family pushes Jack into a state of unadulterated, volcanic rage. This is no longer just another chapter in their endless corporate rivalry. This is a profound, unforgivable violation of Jack's life, his home, and the safety of everyone he holds dear. Jack meticulously gathers the financial evidence, preparing to launch a devastating counterattack against the mustache. He knows that Victor will deny everything, hiding behind his army of lawyers and his impenetrable corporate shield, but Jack is ready to burn Newman Enterprises to the ground to secure his family's safety. The stakes have never been higher, and Jack's determination to expose Victor's secret complicity transforms him into a formidable, unstoppable force of vengeance. He prepares to march directly into the heart of the Newman Empire, armed with the truth that could destroy Victor's legacy forever. The impending fallout from this massive family secret threatens to engulf all of Genoa City in a catastrophic war, leaving a trail of collateral damage in its wake. Diane Jenkins, who has been spiraling into extreme jealousy and feeling profoundly betrayed by Jack's visits to Nikki, will be forced to confront the terrifying reality that her husband has been fighting a shadow war for their survival. Kyle Abbott, already operating as a covert security specialist to protect his father, will undoubtedly unleash his own fury upon the Newman family when he learns of Victor's lethal manipulation. Furthermore, the revelation will send shockwaves through the Newman family itself. When Nikki Newman discovers that her husband utilized Patty Williams, a woman who previously caused immense trauma to the Abbotts, to orchestrate this nightmare, it could permanently sever the fragile, remaining bonds of their marriage, proving that Victor's need for control eclipses his capacity for basic human decency. As we look toward the upcoming episodes, the stage is set for an epic, explosive clash that will redefine the power dynamics of Genoa City. The intricate web of lies, financial manipulation, and weaponized madness is rapidly unraveling, bringing Jack Abbott and Victor Newman onto a direct, unavoidable collision course. Will Jack succeed in exposing Victor's role as the sinister puppet master behind Patty's reign of terror? Or will Victor use his immense power to bury the evidence and crush the Abbott family once and for all? The tension is reaching a boiling point, and the resulting explosion will leave no one unscathed. Keep watching as this thrilling storyline reaches its dramatic climax, delivering the intense confrontations, suspenseful interrogations, and unforgettable drama that make this show an absolute masterpiece. Stay tuned, because the battle for truth and survival has only just begun.